It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
At 5 p.m. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sami Wiafe. Coming up in tonight's edition of the show, more revelations from the NSS deduction, as a concerned group says 100 Ghana cedi was also deducted for cloth that were never provided. Tonight, we get details from this particular group. Also, tensions in Ejeso Municipal Assembly of the Ashanti region as assembly members demand resignation of MCE within the next 1 week after attempt to pass a vote of no confidence was touted today. We'll be in the Ejeso Municipal Assembly to get details on this. And also, appointees under former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo unhappy with Finance Minister over non-payment of their ex-gratia. They say they were expecting the Finance Minister to make some announcements on their payment. Stay with us for the next 2 hours as we bring you all these stories and the latest in the world of business. And talk back where the views and opinions you express, the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. Also, we'll be in the northern regional capital of Tamale because something big is happening there tomorrow and Sunday. It is the Northern Business Fair where we showcase the best in the region's economic potential. Stay with us, 97.3 Citi FM. You can join the conversation with your WhatsApp messages. The number to send to is 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. That's where we bring you talk back. So if you want your messages to be read out to you, send us a message on this WhatsApp number. But for now, let's go to the northern regional capital of Tamale, where my colleague Umaru Sanda Amadu is there to give us an update on the Northern Business Fair, the biggest platform to showcase the best of the Northern region's economic potential. Umaru Sanda, thank you very much for joining us. You are in Tamale, I'm in Accra, different environment. Tell us the situation there. Umaru, I'm unable to hear you. I'll be glad if you can unmute. Hello, Maru.
Sami, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great, Sami. I'm coming to you from the Jubilee Park in Tamale, the northern regional capital, where we are bringing the second edition of the Northern Business Fair. And what is expected to happen is that there's going to be lots of exhibition happening here. Over 100 companies have registered with us to come and exhibit. The reason for this exhibition is we want to showcase what is Ghanaian, what is from the north of the country. And this is the second edition. Like I was saying to you, everything from the north is on exhibition. We have smoke, we have shea butter, we have machinery, and a lot of things. And I mean, we are really getting prepared. So setup is what is happening now. And I'm going to in a jiffy just try and speak to some of the people who have come here to exhibit, which exhibition is a very exhibition of this program. And the exhibition is a push show for selling the story of Northern Ghana. And all behind me, you will see we've set up canopies. And we have also set up tables and we have set up chairs. And we have also put the speakers around for the use of the exhibitors who will be coming for this particular event happening tomorrow. Now, like I said, it is for Northern Ghana, which means Northern region, Northeast region, Savannah region, Upper East region, and Upper West region. I have one of the exhibitors here already. She has been here all afternoon from the Upper East region. And I want to just engage her for a minute. Madam, you're welcome. What's your name Which part of Upper East region do you operate from, and what business do you do?
I'm from Upper side. I'm into more sport fabric, bead making. We have the burger basket, and we use pure water sachets in making handbags, purse, and food baskets. That is what I am into.
So, is this your first time exhibiting here, or you have done this before? And what was, first of all, how was last year for you? So that I would ask you, I'll not ask you why you are coming again today, but obviously last year was for you. But what excited you about last year's exhibition, the first edition? For which reason you decided to join us again this time around?
The first edition was fun. We made sales, we exchanged contacts, and we were able to sell some goods out. Even though we didn't make sales instant, but sales of goods that very day. Afterwards, people started contacting us and sending them our items.
So it worked for you last year, and definitely it will be working for you this time around. You are from Upper East region. We are putting this together in Tamale. Would you want us to bring this to your doorstep, or you're happy that we're doing it in Tamale to represent the whole part of the north?
Well, someday you bring it to the side. I'll be happy.
So anyone listening to us on any of our partner stations in Tamale who decides to come and join us here tomorrow, you are going to be the one-stop shop for what? Repeat for me, what are the things that people can come and get here?
Smoke fabric, cloth, beads, burger baskets, and we have some recycling products we make with our hands. Example, the pure water sachet. We use it in making bags, food baskets, earrings, and so many things.
I want the basket so that henceforth I will not take polythene back to the market again. Thank you so much. So that's an exhibitor for the Northern Business Fair, the second edition that we have organized here in the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale. Like I said, we are still doing the setup. We are moving at a very fast pace. Pretty much very ready. The hour is 9, and pretty much the setup is ongoing in earnest. This event will be starting at 9 a.m. Live from the Jubilee Park. Will be on throughout till 6 p.m. And we would also be doing the same thing on Sunday. So it's a 2-day event. Frema Dunyame is the woman on whose laps a lot of this is resting. It has been a very, very busy but well-planned event. Now, everything you have done the past few weeks, past few months, past year, culminates in what will be happening tomorrow. How is it looking like?
We thank God and for how it's looking, pretty good. This is what we are expecting, and we believe that the expectations of exhibitors and patrons will be met tomorrow. It's been months and weeks of preparations, and so you can tell that we are now putting the final finishing touches together. And so we are branding the canopies. We have exhibitors coming in from all over northern Ghana and beyond, looking out for their stands and, trying to strategize on how they are also going to do their own setup tomorrow. So currently, it is all good.
So you've heard it there. Currently, it is all good from the Jubilee Park. I have not added that since I left you on Monday, I've been busy eating a confirm and other nice things here. So you are missing a lot in Accra.
Umar, earlier, with the development happening in the Dagbon traditional area, there were fears that these events may not come on, but it looks like everything is set. What has the traditional council also been saying about this event? Are they endorsing it?
Well, indeed, there's been a lot of inactivity in the Dagbon traditional area. Now, when we say Dagbon, that is the traditional area for Dagomba people. Tamale is the northern regional capital, but Dagomba people recognize Yendi more because that is really where their traditional capital is. So that is where the seat of the paramountcy is. And what is happening is that there's been a ban on a lot of activities. However, the 3-day Adua, which is the first funeral, was done for the late Yana. The 7-day Adua was also done today. In fact, our correspondent for the Eastern Corridor side, Mohammed Aminu Alabira just returned from there where the Adua has been done. So that has been cemented. Now, typically, that paves the way for activities to happen. Next week, Friday, the regent will be properly installed. Now, the thing is that there's a ban on entertainment activities, music, parties, and all of those things. We've been told that there are nightclubs and pubs that have been closed down because of what they're doing here. However, what we are doing here at the Jubilee Park is not a party. It is not a music festival. It is a market. Now, to the extent that the market in Tamale has not been closed down, to the extent that the market in Yendi and Karaga and Gushao and Myong and all of those places have not been closed down, then the market that we are organizing here is also very much fully active. Indeed, we have gone to the traditional authority here in Tamale to seek their permission and blessing for this event, which permission and blessing they have granted. As indeed, the son of the chief has promised us that he himself would be here tomorrow to join us for the activities. We then, yesterday, Prima and myself went to Yendi to pay homage and tribute to the Bewa Palace, where the Yana operates from. The late Yana unfortunately passed now, where the funeral would be happening. And I must say to you that we were received with warm hands and were welcomed, because our tradition in Citi FM and Channel 1 TV has been long intertwined with the Dagbon Kingdom and Dagbon traditional area. Every time we have organized a heritage caravan over the past 10 years, we have touched base with Dagomba land, either from Yendi or through Tamale, and we always pay courtesy calls on the traditional rulers. That is what we did yesterday. And we went to commiserate with them, and we were introduced to the regent, or the acting regent, where we paid homage. Subsequent to that, we went to the Purana, or Pona as it's pronounced here, who is a very, very huge fan of Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, an ardent listener and ardent viewer. So, I mean, the old man could recite every single presenter on our radio and TV platforms. And as I say to you now, I'm sure he's pretty much locked in and listening. And so I want to just say a big salute to the Pwana, who is based in Yendi. And he is the man who is supervising events ahead of the full installation of the regents next week. And he has said to us that to the extent that what we are doing is a market and not a celebration or a party of any kind, he was the one who imposed the ban. He has said that we are not affected by virtue of the fact of the activities that we are putting up. So, Sami, this event is pretty much alive, very active, 9 a.m. tomorrow. If you're listening to us from anywhere, if it is the Savannah Regional Capital, Damongo, that you are listening to me from tonight on any of our affiliate stations, or the Upper West Regional Capital, or the Upper East Regional Capital, Bolgatanga, or the Northeast Regional Capital, Nalirigo, all of you, please come down to Tamale, the Northern Regional Capital. Let us sell Northern Ghana. Let us showcase Northern Ghana, and let us do this Northern Ghana Business Fair organized by Citi FM and Channel 1 Television.
Fred and I will be expecting our confirm. But before you go, what kind of exhibitors are we expecting tomorrow? People engage in what kind of businesses should we expect tomorrow at this fair?
I mean, we have exhibitors coming in who will be bringing produce from here, and everything has to be authentic and original. So you must have been the one who is producing whatever that you are coming to showcase here. So a moment ago, I interviewed a motorcycle assembling company here, Sonic, and you do know, I mean, you are very familiar with how the North operates and how important motorbikes are. Sonic will be exhibiting here, and they are pretty much ready for us. We have a woman that I just spoke to who is a basket or sells baskets from Bolgatanga, the Upper East Regional Capital. She has already arrived here, and she's going to proceed also to exhibit. We have shea butter, beautiful, nice smelling, sweet scented shea butter that will be on display, and many, many other things. I'm going to get a hat, the straw hat from the North. I'm going to get the sandals that we popularly call Afromosis, which I used to head cattle with when I was a cowboy. I'm going to get one tomorrow. And then I have enough smokes, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get like 7 more in addition to my closet. So tomorrow, and I think that my luggage is just going to cost me more, but I'm very happy to take a number of smokes from this exhibition tomorrow. Sammy, I will bring you a hat so that you can cover your bald head.
Umaru, thank you very much for your time. My regards to Freema and the team on the ground to ensure that tomorrow's Northern Business Fair becomes a success. Thank you very much. Umaru Sandamadu speaking to us live from Tamale, where preparations are underway for the second edition of the Northern Business Fair, organized by Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, where we showcase the businesses of enterprises and kind of businesses within the northern region, especially in Tamale, or the northern part of the country. Umaru Sandamadu, they're bringing us an update on that. Away from the Northern Business Fair and development in the northern region, let's do some politics now, because former appointees of the Akufo-Addo administration are fuming. Why? They said the finance minister has refused to pay them their ex gratia entitlements and the likes. And these appointees say, after a series of budgets from the finance minister, including the mid-year review budget, which happened yesterday, they were expecting some pronouncement from the finance minister on when or timeline for the payment of their end of service benefit or entitlement. Ko Esuman is the former legal counsel to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and also served at the Jubilee House as a political appointee. He's joined us to tell us more about these issues they are raising and why these appointees of the former administration are unhappy over this non-payment of the entitlement from the Minister of Finance. Cole, thank you very much for your time. What really is your issue?
All right, thank you very much, Sammy, and a very good evening to your listeners and viewers. So the issue, let me give a bit of background. When President Mahama was leaving office in 2017, that there was a Presidential Transition Act that was passed. The Presidential Transition Act laid out a number of things that needed to be done within the transition period. One of them included the inauguration of the president, the transfer of assets, liabilities, handing over notes, and so on and so forth. And one of the critical things that was included was to ensure the payment of emoluments, because the payment of emoluments due to Article 71 office holders and staff of the former administration had become an issue of debate and so on and so forth. After year in, year out, administration after administration. So the framers of that law decided that as part of the transition, there was a need to make sure that these emoluments, benefits, entitlements are paid within the transition period. Now, 2025 came, the President Akufo-Addo handed over to President Mahama. On January 6, 2025, Parliament approved the emoluments for the executive, and the President also approved the emoluments for the legislature. So these were approved on 6 January. We did the inauguration on 7th January. The finance minister came into office. He was appointed in the first quarter. He went to Parliament with a budget by the end of March 31st, because we had done what we call advance appropriations in advance, of a budget expenditure. So we had put in the payments of all these things, but the numbers could not be quantified because Parliament had not done, the approval. So he goes to Parliament before the end of March 2025, and, he does not include the payments of emoluments to former appointees. But before he goes to do the mid-year review, in May, he pays the legislators, i.e. he pays Parliament. Now, there's never been a situation where the payments of arrears and entitlements and end of service benefits have been paid in tots, or bit by bit, or you pay one group and leave another group. But if you're going to pay, why did you pay a group of which you're a member first before you consider the other groups? So he pays, the legislature of which he's a member, their, entitlements, their arrears and their ex gratia in May and then in July of 2025. And he doesn't make any payments again. And then he captures it, the rest of the payments in the December 2020, the budget that he November 2025. So thinking that in early 2026, the rest of the people would be paid. The first quarter came, no one was paid. It was after there had been some engagement, when they released the presidential staffers list, and there was a lot of conversation, and I brought back the conversation that, people had not been paid, before I saw that, they were making payments. I would not, take credit for the fact that they made payments, but the dates of those payments came subsequently to the points I had been making, i.e. that they ought to have paid people, as far back as 2025. So that is where we are. So he goes back to Parliament to do a mid-year review in July 2026, and he doesn't make mention of anything that has to do with the payments of presidential staff. Yet, from what Ofosu Kwache Ofosu, Honorable Kwache Ofosu, the government communications minister, has told us, is that, staff of the presidency, this current presidency, are being paid. But then arrears and entitlements due to those who served under the previous administration remains unpaid. And the question is why? How come, almost like 20 months after taking office, you have not been able to pay those who served the presidency, who served the president? And there are not a lot of people, compared to the large amount, MPs together with council of state members.
How many people are we talking about here? How many people?
I'm talking about, I don't know the exact figure, but we're talking about those who served under the President Akufo-Addo administration in the Jubilee House.
In the Jubilee House.
The presidential staff.
So,
and we're not talking about those, the civil servants and all those people. No, we're talking about those political appointees who have their arrears. So there's political appointees, the two categories. There's the junior staff, and then there's the presidential staffers proper, those whose names are sent to Council of State and approved, and so on and so forth. The junior staff, their arrears have not been paid. And then the Article 71 holders whose arrears and entitlements have also not been paid.
Okay, have you had engagements with the finance minister? Not you per se, I'm talking about the group. Have you had engagement with the finance minister over the non-payment?
I'm fully aware that there's been a lot of engagements with the finance minister on this matter. Those who had been charged under the previous administration to be responsible for emoluments and the payments of gratuities and entitlements and so on, have severally engaged the presidency itself, the chief of staff, the presidency itself. They've engaged the finance minister. They've engaged everyone that needs to be engaged on this matter, the controller and accountant general, the audits, service, because all these things have to be audited to make sure that you're not paying people who never worked at the presidency or ghost names or so on and so forth. And it doesn't take 20 or so months. By law, this should have been completed when the transition was over. And the transition was over at least in the first quarter of 2025. And so not being able to sort this thing out, and we've read 4 budgets, or at least, with 2 mid-year reviews, 2 full budgets, it raises a lot of questions as to exactly why is the finance minister withholding payments due to people who have legitimately served their country and whose payments have become due.
And in all these engagement, what reason have he or have they been giving you in respect of this delay?
As far as I'm concerned, there's been no, tangible or proper reason. All they say is that, it's going through the process. And that's what I'm saying. How does it go through a process for over 20 months? And yet, those who were recently appointed in January 2025 who submitted bank accounts, who now went through the process of ensuring that their SNIT numbers went to controller, their bank account numbers went to the controller, and so on and so forth, are being paid per what Kwache Ofosu said in about two months ago, are being paid, whereas those whose names and account numbers and social security and other information are within the system already are not being paid. What other process do you need to go through to be able to do that? And all these things by law were required to have been done within a certain period, and we have gone way past that period. And you've been able to pay yourself, as a member of the legislature, That, I think that is a very critical point that, gets lost on us. And, in this kind of conversation, we need to be able to bring it, because it flouts in a lot of governance principles. It flouts a lot of governance principles.
So let me get you here. You are saying that he's paid himself as a member of parliament, and then his other colleagues, members of parliament.
Yes.
So what is left?
It's on record.
It's on record. So what is left is just the appointees at the Jubilee House, those who are appointed to serve as political appointees at the Jubilee, who are yet to be paid.
Yes, I have to be fully honest with you and with those who are listening. He's paid the legislature. There's information on that. And in fact, it's a subject of a petition before Sraj, which has actually gone to court, and the court has directed the finance minister to provide responses to the petitioner. He's paid the legislature. He paid them in May of 2025 and July of 2025, and he's a member of the legislature. Okay, this year he's paid some of the other people who are entitled to arrears. Like, for instance, I don't know whether he's paid the judiciary. Okay, I can't speak to that. But I know he's paid the Council of State. Okay, and I know he's also paid former ministers and deputy ministers. Okay, but that payment happened after the first quarter. So I think it was around April, and then in May. That was when the payments were made. And then he's paid some MMDCs, I believe, because I saw some documentation to that effect. But when it comes to those who served at the presidency, at the Jubilee House, the staff of the presidency, the judicial appointees, and the presidential staff, per the definition of the law, he hasn't paid anyone, not even a dime. And that is the point that I'm making, that how do you pay all these people, which is not the proper thing to do, and anyone who has been involved in setting these payments and emoluments and the committees that put together these things will tell you that you don't separate the payments. If you're paying everyone. But even if you're going to separate it, you don't take a whole year. You don't take 4 budgets before, because at this point, those who work they don't even know if they're going to be paid anytime soon, or whether they're going to be paid in November or in December or and this is improper. And the truth of the matter is that these are debts, that the state will owe to people in this position, and these kind of debts, the law tells us that are entitled to accrue interest. And so what situation are you putting these people in with respect to monies that they haven't had? And these are people who have worked. Some of them, especially the junior staff. But
if you say the legislature was paid, some deputy ministers and ministers were paid, that means it's going to be a gradual process. At least some payments, some commitments have been made. And so gradually it's going to get to the turn of these appointees. So why will you be, in quote, in a rush when some payments have already been made, and so it will get to your turn?
I'm in a rush because the law doesn't say that you have to pay it in that manner. And I'm in a rush because you, a beneficiary of a group, has paid you have paid the group of which you're a beneficiary as far back as a year ago, 12 months ago. And I'm in a rush because you have read 4 budgets, and you still haven't paid those who are entitled to these payments. And I'm in a rush because it wasn't until this year, in April and May, that you even made the second payment. So you paid yourself and the other legislators in May, and waited another 12 months to pay, those who had the other people that I've mentioned, i.e. the ministers, the former ministers, the former deputy ministers, and council of state members. You waited 12 months after you had paid yourself. And for me, I think that even raises very serious constitutional issues. That how can someone who is supposed to be protecting the public purse, because I heard him say yesterday that, his job as a finance minister is to protect the public purse. Protect the public purse, and you protect the public purse by paying yourself before those who are really entitled to it. Even if you had decided that, I'll pay everyone first before I pay the legislature, it would make noise. But because it'll make sense. But because he has to appear regularly before the legislature, and he's also a member of the legislature. He chose to pay them first before paying, all those others who are entitled to it. And I'm saying that the law from 2012 that had been passed was that, these payments are part of the transition and ought to have been concluded with the transition. I mean, the law doesn't expect us 20 months down the line, 21 months down the line, to be talking about payment of emoluments to people who are entitled and deserving of these payments.
As a lawyer, you intend to carry out the class action?
Oh, for me, I think that, sometimes it is good to let, these processes run. And if the appointees are willing to embark on a class action, and I'm instructed, I'll be happy to do it. But the point is that some of these payments, it's important for the government to realize that it's a legal duty, it's a statutory duty. A class action will only delay it even further. But if it's a legal duty, it's a statutory duty for them to adhere to, they've got to, and they have to make the payment. And I made the point that, the fact that even if they pay today, right, the money accrued interest from January 2025. And so there is still a legal action that can be taken, even if they pay today, and issues of judgment debts, can come up.
So even if
someone say that the finance minister not paying and we incurring interest and judgment debts amount to causing financial loss to the state, willful financial loss to the state, because he deliberately failed to follow a law which required him to pay within a transition period.
So does it mean if he even decides to pay today, it will come with interest?
He has to pay with interest because the law requires that if you withhold someone's money, you owe them interest. That's what the law is. Simple interest. But during our time, we passed a law that compounding interest of government, whatever. But at the end of the day, the simple principle of law is that when you withhold someone's money, the person is entitled to interest because the person could have used that money to do something. Imagine if these monies had been paid to these staffers. They could have invested the money. They could have used it to start a business that would have been making them some money. But you've held onto the money. The value of the money as it was in January 2025 isn't the same as it is now. And so, the interest, definitely they're entitled to interest, but I don't know whether they would be willing to pursue it, but I think it's something that the finance minister ought to have at the back of his mind, that the monies that he's withheld have accrued interest, and the people whose monies he has withheld are entitled to that interest by law.
Is former President Akufo-Addo also a victim of this delay?
Oh, for that I cannot speak to, Sammy, you know that. I cannot speak to that, Sammy.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time. Suman is a private legal practitioner, served as legal advisor to former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, leading a group of former appointees at the Jubilee House, asking Finance Minister Finance Minister Dr. Kesla Toforsen to make payments of their ex gratia or entitlement. They say that 2 years down the line, or 2 years after leaving the Jubilee House, the finance minister is yet to make payments of their entitlement and arrears, and he is leading that charge. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Remember, there's Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. You can send your messages to the number 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Let's go to the Ashanti region, especially the Ejuso Municipal Assembly, because all is not well. The assembly members are up in arms against the municipal chief executive for the area. They have leveled a number of allegations against her, and today there was an attempt to pass a vote of no confidence on her, but unfortunately that attempt was thwarted. Let's speak to George Kuntu Blackson. He's an assembly member for the Kwamo electoral area in the Ejuso Municipal Assembly. He's joining us for details on this action. George, thank you very much for your time. What has the municipal chief executive done?
Yeah, I'm grateful, my brother. Let me take the opportunity to say good evening to your listeners. The municipal chief executive hasn't done anything much, but it's just a normal assembly process that we are going through. Assembly is part of our arrangement. If a chief executive is working and the work is not up to expectation, there are stages or there are arrangements that we need to go through. We have started this arrangement for about 3 months now, and we have gotten to a stage of vote of no confidence. So today, there was an arrangement for a General Assembly meeting, that is a special General Assembly meeting. And the agenda for today was the vote of no confidence. How did we get here? We have started this process long ago. There were complaints against the municipal chief executive. We reported to the PRCC. At the assembly, we have a committee called PRCC, Public Relations Complaints Committee. They are the committee for redress of issues. We summoned the MCE. He went there, gave her findings or her part of the story. We forwarded recommendations to the General Assembly, and General Assembly affirmed or put measures in place as to what the MCE should do within the next 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, all those things have not been done by the MCE. Out of human faith, we allowed about 2 months extra, yet there has been no responses, no action taken. So we had nothing else to do than to resort to vote of no confidence. And in our practice, if you want to initiate a vote of no confidence, the law states it clearly, you have to give a time for hearing. You have to hear the MCE. So within a stipulated time, we gave her a hearing, which was done last week. After the hearing, the ad hoc committee made a recommendation that there should be that chance for vote of no confidence, which was slated for today. But unfortunately, the meeting or the process was thwarted by the MCE herself and her cohort. So that was how come we decided to address the press with our issues. So
how did she thwart the process?
Yeah, you see, it's a General Assembly meeting day, and as usual, we go there, we go into our assembly hall, we have attendance book, and then we begin to register or write our names. But then when we got there, the place was locked up. When we tried to contact the estate officer for the keys, he told us that MCE had ordered a personal aide to come and take all the keys and bring it to her. So this was what I mean by she thwarting the process.
Is it that
you will not have access to the hall?
Is it that you don't like her style of administration?
Okay, not a matter of liking. We have no personal issues with the MCE.
So if you don't have any personal issue with her, why do you want her out? There should be a reason, George.
So let me give you the reasons why we are at this stage. First of all, municipal assembly, we have 5 warehouses which was handed over to us by Ghana Cocoa Board in years back. That is year 2016. These warehouses are property of the assembly. When this MCE came, he has rented out 2 of the warehouses, and the process used her for her personal or private benefit. The remaining 3 warehouses, he has been in an arrangement with some other people who are using the remaining 3 warehouses, without which no proceeds are coming to the assembly. So out of the 5 warehouses, they are all being put to use, but assembly gets nothing about them. Assembly knows nothing about them. This is one of the complaints that came, and then it was part of the complaints that was leveled against her. So when we met her at the General Assembly, we gave her an ultimatum of 2 weeks to call all those people, all those occupants of the warehouse, to an assembly before a committee so that we can regularize their stay. We didn't even ask to eject them out because they are Ghanaians, they need to work and eat. So we said we needed them to have a proper documentation so that they will know that the place they are occupying belongs to the assembly. So going forward, they will know the real owner of the warehouses. Within 2 weeks, it's been 3 months now. The woman hasn't done anything about it. The second thing is that I hope you know about JCREC. JCR receipts are being issued to district assemblies from the Controller Accountant General. No district prints its own JCR. And these receipts are to be signed only by bonded revenue collectors at the assembly. This is what has happened. The MCE, through a personal aid, has issued or signed a JCR receipt to a roofing sheet company to cover an amount which is supposed to be property rate and business operating permit amounting to 29,000 Ghana cedis. They didn't take this money to the assembly. Rather, they exchanged the money with roofing sheets, and the roofing sheet was used by the MCE on her private project. This is where we are. We had information, we had evidence of the receipt. This was presented to her during the pre-RCC meeting we had. So this was another issue we sent to General Assembly meeting. And over there, we gave her 2 weeks ultimatum to pay back the money. That is the 29,000 Ghana cedis. That is charge number 2. Thirdly, there is another issue at Etekrom within the Newsroom municipality where a landowner or landlord has built a building and extended it onto a road, thereby blocking access to another land behind this first one. The landlord, the one who has been blocked, took the case to court, and there was a court ruling that assembly should go and demolish the portion that has blocked the road. It's been some time. We have pressed on our MCE to take out the demolition. Up till now, the MCE remains adamant. This was also given an ultimatum of 2 weeks, and it's been 3 months now. So these and other issues put together, coupled with wetland failing and other things, these are the reasons that has compounded and it has brought to us, to this stage. So these are some of the reasons that we based on to push for the vote of no confidence.
Have you engaged there on all these wrongs that you have identified? Have you, as an assembly, tried to engage Mete, to tell her that indeed this things that you are doing is not going well, is not in the best interest of the assembly, and so she should put a stop to it?
We have engaged her not once, not twice. In fact, the first point of call is to draw her to the PRCC. That is the former place for redress of such issues. After that, we took it to General Assembly. That there, when there was an ultimatum of 2 weeks, he didn't do it. After that, we wrote a letter to the president through the Ashanti regional minister that this is what is happening. So the president should do the needful by taking this woman away and give us another MCE because the woman is not helping matters in the Joso. It's been 1 month since we wrote that letter, yet we have not had any response from the president through the regional minister. That is why today we went there to have the vote of no confidence, but unfortunately it couldn't come on.
George, how do you react to people who say that Ejoso is an MPP, constituency, even though it's a district, a municipal assembly, it is also an area dominated by the MPP, and this appointee is an appointee of this government, which is the NDC administration. So you are frustrating her to get her out, so you can bring your preferred person in there. How do you react to people who say that these are underlining political, things that you are doing?
My brother, it is true. It's an established fact that the Joso is MPP dominated. But mind you, no matter what we do, there is no way the president is going to appoint an MPP person to be the MCE. What will interest you to know is that we are mixed with MPP and NDC assembly members. And the petition we wrote, or the press conference we addressed today, has been signed and endorsed by both MPP and NDC assembly members. So if somebody says that it is MPP people that are trying to frustrate the woman, it is neither here nor there. Things that are happening in Ejoso, I think you might have heard some earlier. And in fact, NDC people started the agitation. Some months back, they started the agitation. And this we would have done this long ago. But for the reason of somebody saying that NDC people probably might be behind us, that is why we have held on till now. In fact, there were times we wanted to act. But any moment we try to act, you will see our colleague NDC people trying to be at the neck of the woman. And we did not want that picture to be seen out there as if the NDC people are behind us. So anytime we try to make a move and then they take themselves, then we call back. So it is not a matter of MPP trying to, frustrate an NDC government or anything of the sort. That is the reason why we wrote that letter to the regional minister, so that on the quiet, this thing could have been resolved. But as of now, there hasn't been any response from that office. That is why we are here. We are where we are now. So it's not a matter of MPP NDC. The NDC people know and they appreciate the issues, and that is why they are part of what we are. The cause we are fighting now.
You've given her 1 week ultimatum to resign. If she doesn't resign after a week, what are you guys going to do?
We are not going to work with her. We are not going to work with her as an MCE. There is no meeting that is going to be organized that we are going to sanction or going to.
It means you are going to frustrate her.
Not frustrate her. We are just,
but if you say you are not going to work with her, is another form of frustration.
So the vote of no confidence, what is it about? What is the vote of no confidence about? If it's about frustration, then they started frustrating us. Why would they lock up the office of our own? Why would they lock it up and bring police people to the place? It's not about frustration. You know how to get your things in the country Ghana we live in. So we have just had a peaceful exercise today. Elsewhere, you go elsewhere. What happened at the Josu today would have been something else. Would have had machetes and other things rolling in the sky. But at Josu, we didn't do that. We went. The door was locked. We agreed. We didn't touch anything. We sat outside and we addressed the press. How peaceful else could we have done this? So we are not in for frustration. We just want the right thing to be done. That is all.
George, thank you very much for your time. George Kuntu Blanse is Assemblyman for the Kwamo electoral area in the Ejoso Municipal Assembly, speaking to us there, attempt to remove the municipal chief executive. We've made an attempt to speak to her. Unfortunately, she says she's unavailable to speak to us as at now. And so as and when the municipal chief executive makes herself available to respond to some of these allegations and some of the issues raised by the assembly members, we will speak to her. But for now, she says she's not available to speak on this matter. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Later, there's Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we bring you tonight on Eyewitness News will be read out to you. The number to send it to is 0539-986-996. 0539-986-996. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
These days, some mattresses are being made from all kinds of unsafe materials that are not fit for sleeping surfaces. These materials may be cheap, but they can be harmful to your health. If you haven't slept well, you cannot work and think well, and you are ultimately putting your health at risk, which can cause you a lifetime discomfort and chronic pain. As responsible citizens, we should invest in safe, durable, and certified mattresses. Latex Foam remains the tried and tested brand we all love for almost 60 years now. They offer you unmatched quality and durability for every Ghanaian home. Talk to them on 0302-231-155 in Accra and 03220-29365 in Kumasi for all your inquiries, or walk into any of their outlets nationwide for your preferred choices. Do not settle for less. Go for quality, but Latex Foam, or else you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Kwame get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From our emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200-390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Sport day. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo day. New address, new standard, new way to live in Laboni. Introducing Moonbow Laboni from Val Real Estate, Africa's Gate to Real Estate, an iconic mixed-use development where refined architecture, premium amenities, and an exceptional location come together to create more than just a home. It creates a lifestyle, beautifully designed studio and one-bedroom residences, world-class amenities, a prestigious Laboni address, and an investment built for tomorrow. Launch prices start now and are available for a limited time. Experience Moonbow Laboni, because some places are more than meets the eye. To reserve your apartment today, call 0800-888-888. Val Real Estate, Africa's Gate to Real Estate.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know they lose God.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Remember, later in the show, we'll bring you Talk Back, where the views and opinions you express on the stories we brought you tonight on Eyewitness News to be read out to you. You can send your messages to the number 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. Remember, Eyewitness News is also live on our affiliates across the country. In the Western region, we are live on Premier 101.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, all in Takrady. In the Bono region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Afro region, we are live on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. In the Ashanti region, hear us on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are live on Akbini Radio 96.7 FM in Pando. Heritage FM 107.3 FM in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we are live on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the West Upper East region, we are live on Word FM 88.7, and in Boga, we are live on Boga 102.7 FM. In the Upper West region, we are live on Westlink 88.1 FM in Lora, and in the Northeast region, we are live on Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale Wale. Fafa Melody is here to give us an update in the news.
Well, in more stories, the Ghana Gold Board has dismissed claims by the minority in Parliament that the institution is operating at a loss, insisting its 2025 audited financial statements show it remains profitable. The response follows allegations by the New Patriotic Party's minority caucus led by Alexander Penyumakin, who accused Gold Board of making losses and misusing public funds. Speaking to City News, Gold Board's media relations officer, Prince Kwame Minka, said the board recorded an operational surplus of 909 million Ghana cedis and an overall surplus of 5.44 billion Ghana cedis for the 2025 financial year.
The audit report is an independent verification unless you don't trust the Auditor General's report. Gold Board, number one, is not making losses. The facts are clear. Gold Board is profitable. The board recorded an operational surplus of 909.7 million Ghana cedis and an overall surplus of 5.44 billion Ghana cedis for the 2025 financial year. And these figures are not from Gold Board alone. They are contained in the Auditor General's audited 2025 annual report and financial statements, which are publicly available. Our performances are also on the surge in spite of global challenges at the moment. International gold prices have fallen by more than 23% since February this year. Pricing incentives have also been reduced from about 14% to 6%. Yet Gold Board continues to meet its target in, number one, gold purchases, foreign exchange generation, building Ghana's gold reserves, promoting local value addition, supporting sustainability initiatives, and remaining on course to achieve its 2026 surplus target. We are encouraging Ghanaians to rely on verified and audited reports rather than political commentary.
You heard the media relations officer for Gold Board, Prince Kwame Minka. Now, energy analyst Benjamin Nsia has called on the government to expedite work on the proposed 1,200 megawatt gas-fired power plant to be constructed in the Commander Edina Iguafu-Abre municipality. His comments follow the finance minister's announcement in the 2026 mid-year budget review that environmental engineering and permitting processes for the state-owned project are progressing steadily months after it was first unveiled in the 2026 budget. Speaking to City News, Mr. Nsia urged the government to ensure the project is completed on schedule, stressing that it is critical to strengthening Ghana's electricity supply and meeting the country's growing energy demand.
If you are not able within the shortest term construct and complete 600 megawatts by the scheduled date, it means that Ghana will likely go back to doing so. So it's unfortunate that we are still delaying with the financial requirements and procedures in effectively implementing a better position on beginning its construction and then able to meet a scheduled date. The ministry has not actually assessed the short-term or medium-term impact of any delay in constructing this thermal infrastructure. If they have done that, I think there will be a priority, or they'll prioritize this critical infrastructure in sustaining and ensuring that there's a reliable supply of power to households and firms. I think that we need gas infrastructure as soon as possible to be able to mitigate any risks associated with power supply by 2027.
You had energy analyst Benjamin Nsia. Now, away from that, the Tema Regional Police Command has warned that it will deal decisively with anyone who engages in violence during this year's Homowo Festival. The command also cautioned persons involved in chieftaincy disputes, landguard activities, and student unrest against acts that could threaten public peace. Regional Commander DCOP Eric Asamoah Esiedu says adequate security measures are in place.
Traditional rulers, priests and priestesses will involve the performance of their rituals, customs and traditions preceding, during and after the Homowo festivities. Others will sprinkle their traditional food quickly. There have been attacks and counter-attacks and confrontations as to who sprinkled the traditional food that leads to violence and breach of the peace. On this note, I wish to remind all residents that the celebration should be marked by peace, unity, and respect for the law. We urge celebrants to avoid acts of violence, unnecessary confrontations, disorderly conduct, and activities that may endanger public safety. The police will provide adequate security throughout the festival period and will take firm action against persons who engage in criminal conduct under the guise of festival celebrations.
DCOP Eric Asamoah Isiedu is Tema Regional Police Commander.
Thank you very much for giving us that update in news. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Now, the concerned National Service Association of Ghana has given the leadership of the National Service Personnel Association a 2-week ultimatum to account for millions of cedis allegedly deducted from the allowance of national service personnel or face legal action. The group is demanding that the reimbursement of an estimated 4.2 million Ghana cedis, which they claim was withdrawn from the accounts of national service personnel without their consent. It comes on the back of a number of issues that has come in relation to some 60 cedi deduction from the account of national service personnel. That came up this week for discussion. Let's go on to the line and speak to the concerned National Service Personnel Association. Joining us is Samuel Kwejo Lelage, who happens to be the convener of this group. Sam, thank you very much for your time. How did you arrive at this 4.2 million Ghana cedis?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I think my name is Yelage.
Yelage.
Yeah,
okay, Yelage. Thank you very much.
Very good. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Today, we held a press conference at Accra University of Ghana, Accra City Campus, where we were demanding for the refund of the 60 cedis that NSS has deducted from every individual's account. Recently, when we've been in the media, we have seen reports where the National Service Personnel Association, NASPA, did suspend and release a press release to suspend an agreement they went with one company called Youth Athletic Limited. But we, as concerned national service personnel, we don't care about the suspension. What we care about is that they should refund our money back to us. We need the money back to us. As whether the contract they whether the contract they went into with the youth as well is legal or it's illegal, it is another discussion for another day. Because for my readings that I've done on contract law, you cannot, in your own way, terminate a contract without any, legal, without using the appropriate way. You just use media and then communicate to them that, oh, you've terminated their contract. That is another discussion for another day. So it will be between NASPA and that company, Youth Athletic Limited. Yes, we called a press conference today. The first one that we are demanding for is that they deducted 100 cedis, that they want to use the 100 cedis for cloth allowance. They deducted 100 cedis for cloth. So the issue is that, every year they have been deducting 100 cedis. So but we don't care about that. We want the legality of the issue. We want them to come out to explain why they deduct 100 cedis in the name of they want to give us a cloth. If they don't respond,
so Sam, aside the 60 cedis for the training, because the president was on this platform to explain that deduction was for some skill training and some other things. So you mean aside that 60 cedis, there was 100 cedi deduction?
Yes, there were 100 cedi deduction for clothes.
When was this?
And I think it was around May of
this year.
Yes, this year they deducted 100 cedis that they want to give us a cloth. And per my reading,
and has it been supplied?
Well, some of us have not even gone for the cloth.
And did they explain to you why they were deducting for the cloth? Was there a general?
There were no any reasons. There
was an agreement for the deduction should be done for the purchase of this cloth.
There were no any reasons to that effect. They just deduct 100 cedis without informing us, consulting us. We are in charge. We are the affected personnel. They don't consult us. in any decision making. They take any decisions on their own, and at the end of the day, they impose the decision on us in the name of NASPA Council, whatever meeting they went, and then they've decided on this, and then they have decided to impose it, whether you understand it or not. Then definitely, you must abide by. So with the 100 cedis clause, it is something that they have been doing every year. It is not our own bad, but we want to throw more light on that and let people know that, look, the fact that something is being done every year without people talking about it does not mean it is legal. You get the point. So if you deduct something, if you deduct 100 cedis from our account every year in the name of you want to give us a clause, and we are raising the point that we need the legality of the issue. What legal provisions were they standing on to deduct the 100 cedis, what do we call it, for the clause? That is what we are demanding for. And then the second one has to do with the clause training that they deducted.
Sam, hold on. Before you move to that one, let's still stay with the clause. If you say it is not new, it's been there all this while, then why do you have an issue with it? If it's something, if it's something this administration came in to meet it, and they are continuing with the tradition, and they are doing as it has been their tradition, why then do you have an issue with it?
Yes, that is why I'm making the point that the fact that something has been deducted, they normally deduct every the 100 cedis every year, does not make it right. That is why we are calling for the legality of the issue. They should let us know what legal principles support that 100 cedis deduction. Who even made that argument that, look, we should deduct 100 cedis from every personal account? What is the legality? We want the legal part. Yes, probably we can advance to the argument that, every year they deduct it. So if they deduct our own, it is not something different. Yes, it is not something different. But we are looking at it from a legal perspective. That, look, this is what you are saying. What is the legal perspective backing what you people are saying? So this is what we are demanding for when it comes to the court.
Okay, Sam, hold on. Let me speak to Samdeen Mumuni, who is the national PRO of the National Service Personnel Association, who is also joining the conversation. Sam, thank you very much. And how are you? Your colleague is making some allegation about 100 cedi deduction. Has it been there already, or this is just something new? I'm afraid I don't have Samdeen Mumuni on the line. He's the national PRO for the National Service Personnel Association. Let's go back to Samuel Kwejo Yelaj, who is the convener of the Concerned National Service Personnel Association. Sam, so you were making this point that you want to check the legalese. Aside that one, you're also raising issue about the 4.2 million deduction that has been made so far. You are asking that within the next 2 weeks, that money should be refunded. But the National Service leadership has said that they are going to do so. So why the rush?
They said they are yet to set a committee. Even today, I think they granted one interview where the General Secretary for the association was indicating that they are yet to set up a committee to determine whether it is important for them to refund the money or not. We don't need a committee on this. To be frank with you, we don't need NASPA or whatever NSA to set a committee on this to determine whether the money should be refunded or not. It is our money. We deducted it, and we are asking for the legal basis. You've not been able to provide us with any legal basis. In the name of you want to do some capacity building training, so you are deducting as you stated it for that capacity building training, and we don't want that capacity building training. And you indicated that, look, the person you went into contract with, you've suspended the contract.
You've made that point already. So just hold on. Let me establish a better connection to Samdeen Mumuni, National PRO, National Service Personnel Association, also joining the conversation. Sam, you've heard the allegations from your colleague Samuel Kwejo Yelaj about some deduction aside the 60 cedis there's some 100 cedi deduction, which he says has been done already, but then they are protesting it. Are you aware of this?
Yes. Good evening to you, the panel, and then good evening to your listeners too as well. All right. So I didn't get him from the beginning of the conversation, but I heard him talk about some deduction that has happened, and they don't need the training. I don't know if I can get a clarification on the kind of allegations he's making, so I can make my point very clear.
Okay, he's making two allegations. Number one, about some 100 cedi deduction for cloth, which he says not all personnel have had this. Secondly, about the 60 cedi deduction for the training, which your president has explained that it was for some skill training in AI and the rest. They say that within the next 2 weeks, you are supposed to refund the total amount of money, which is 4.2 million to all service personnel who were affected by this deduction. For them, they don't need any training. These are the two allegations your colleague on the other line is making.
All right. So thank you so much for the clarification. So the first one has to do with an allegation of 100 cedis that has been deducted for the NASPA cloth.
Yeah.
So this is what we have to put it out there, that after today, the 24th of July 2026, there hasn't been any region that has not received all clothes at their custody. It's either they are at the regional level, or most of them at the regional offices. That's the regional directors have dispatched all of them to the district level. And usually what happens is that before they do the dispatching at the national level, they get to know the total number of personnel that have been deducted. Then each region will take an allocation for that region. Then at the regional level, they will do further distribution to all the districts. So if there's any district that has not received DS, then they should reach out to the regional level to get, they should reach out to their director, the district director or the district coordinator, who in turn reach out to the regional director for them to receive DS. To the best of my understanding, all regions have received their clock after today, 24th of July 2026. So for that, I can assure you that the clause has been dispatched to the regional levels for it to be distributed to the district levels. I'm aware, in my district, the Central Gonja district of Savannah region, the district director has received this, and most personnel have gone to the district office and have taken custody of their clause. And the second allegation that has to do with the capacity building program. Now, I want to believe that what the allegation the gentleman is making is like the training is yet to happen. That is why he said they should refund the monies to them. Now, NASPA, somewhere in December 2025, we received a proposal to embark on a capacity building program that has been piloted in the year 2024 in Accra. That's to make sure that we build our personnel very well for employability. So after receiving the proposal from Zeus Atlas Limited, the National Executive Committee, which comprises of the President to the National PRO, sat on this project, reviewed it, and then got to council. And when we talked about the council, we are talking about all regional presidents, in addition to the national executives. So the directive that was given to all council members was that they should do further engagement with their district executives and the regional executives at their level about the project. After that was done, all council members were called to a meeting. And on the 4th of December 2025, council debated on this proposal of the capacity building program, and it was agreed. Out of 17 members of council, were present.
Sham, we are aware of this background. We are aware of this story. But then the concern from your other colleagues is that when is this amount of money going to be refunded? He's given, or they've given an ultimatum of 2 weeks for this amount of money to be refunded. Is the association in a capacity to refund the said amount of money, which according to some is 4.2 million. If you're in a capacity to do that, are you also in a capacity to do that within the next 2 weeks as they are demanding, or they will take legal action against the association?
All right, so I was building a case to let him understand that training has gone down to almost all the districts. I can tell you that on authority, over 90% of all of districts across the country have been taxed. So if it happens to be like someone is asking for a refund of the money, first thing first, let's understand that NSA has directed that the project be suspended, and a committee has been set up to look into this. So it will be premature for me as the national PRO to give to say that the refund would happen or not. So at least the personnel out there should be patient until the authority does their work and then come out with the resolution to the complaints that the personnel have raised. So as it stands now, I cannot confirm or reject that the refund will be done. So let's give the authority the opportunity to do this engagement with NASPA, and then the committee will come out with a proper resolution. And I believe by the end of this whole thing, we will get to a point where everybody will be okay with whatever report that will be brought out here.
Okay, something. Just hold on. Let me go to Sam Kojo. Yelaj. Sam, about the clause, it says that every district assembly or every regional every region should have theirs by now. You said that you haven't received yours. Is it that you've not gone to the regional office? Hold on. Is it that you've not gone to the regional office or the district office to go and collect yours? Because according to Sam Dean, the national PRO, everyone should have his or hers as at now because everything has been distributed.
Very well, very well. We understand that. But part of that, my question was, what was the purpose of the clause? Because there were no any explanations to us. The explanation we had was that, this is something that has been done years, not today. But because they are deducting 100 cedis for that, they didn't explain as in, they didn't give us any broader explanation in regards to the 100 cedis they deducted for the club. So probably since he is here, he will be the best person to probably highlight some of the importance of the clause to national service personnel that it makes it necessary for them to deduct that money from our account without any consultation.
Okay, let me pose that question to him. Samdin, you've heard your colleague. Hello, Samdin. I'm afraid Samdin is not on the phone line to respond to this question from someone. But Sam, I'll try and raise him on the line again. But before that, you are saying that after 2 weeks, you are going to file legal action against the association. On what basis are you going to do this?
Okay, on the basis of the refund for the money. We need the 60 cedis in total, which is the 4.2 million Ghana cedis. We need it to be refunded. So if they are no good, if they don't refund it, then that is going to be the basis. One, the money, and then the second one will be the 100 cedis cross allowance. If there are no proper explanations to these issues, we are giving them 2 weeks to respond. If they don't respond, that means they are going to take that legal action.
Okay, he's back on the line. Let me engage him further. Samdin, about the cloth, he's asking if it's still necessary for you to be deducting 100 cedis from service personnel for this cloth.
If it is not necessary. Hello?
He's asking if it's still necessary for you to be doing the deduction. And do they really need this particular national service cloth?
Okay, so let's go back to associations, organizations that have been existing time immemorial. That we all have our ways of identifying ourselves. And this deduction about the for NASPA cloth it's not today that it has started. It has been there for a good number of years now. So that has already been happening. Last year, I can recall that last year it was the same 100 cedis that was deducted. So it's like a norm that has been happening. And those cloths have been given to personnel for identity sake, so that whenever we go to work, we can use it to distinguish ourselves from the rest of the workers. And I think it will give us a platform for us to be able to tell, like, oh, maybe if I wear it and I go to work, and I'm probably doing the best of what I do, someone would identify me like this is a service personnel. So maybe after he's done with his job and he's doing what he's doing so best, then we can engage the person. We can engage that personnel in any kind of work that we need. So it's something that has been happening. It's not like this is the very year that this deduction has happened for the cloth.
Samdi, thank you very much for that clarification. Thank you for joining us. Sam Dean Mumuni is the National PR of the National Service Personnel Association. Also on the other line is Samuel Kwejo Yelaj, convener, Concerned National Service Personnel Association. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. You can join the conversation with your WhatsApp messages. The number to send to is 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eno, you know what our father left us when he died?
Debts?
He left us land, Eno. But Nanayo said the land is his. The court said, come back in 2031.
Hey, that's not an inheritance. That's a curse, brother.
Real Ejapade doesn't come with disputes. At Deftraco Woodlands, a 592-acre master plan gated city in Dawenya, your inheritance is waiting. Don't leave your children a court case. Leave them Deftraco Woodlands, the Ejapade they'll be proud of. Visit woodlands.devtracogroup.com. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0208-732-302.
Kofi, I think we need to call them.
Deftraco Woodlands, where your roots run deep.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, oh, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayment. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
You know that feeling. A hospital bill that arrives out of nowhere. A diagnosis you weren't prepared for. A system that seems designed to confuse you and costs that keep climbing. And the stress of not knowing if you are protected. Eden isn't lost. Eden Care was created to give it back to you. Eden Care is health insurance made for everyday family life. With Eden Care, getting health care is easy and you are backed by a trusted insurance partner with years of experience. No confusing terms, just complete protection for your entire family. Step back into peace. Step into experience you can rely on. Reach out right now at 059-692-1844 and choose Eden Care today. Eden Care is brought to you by Acacia Health Insurance, a member of the Enterprise Group.
Ufie betimi adani baby a upebia. Ebetimi adani stadium. Oh! Hey, what a strike! Ana fa kwa yebu TV and computer game wo. Aha! Yenko Atoda, ebetimi adani classroom.
Madam, me pacho menti ase.
Yo, yes am fa so bio. Ne wo he na wonti ase no.
Nini na.
Ebetimi adani office.
Aha, orders no ahina ye ready. Okay, mundi kan fanko Eastlegon.
Ebetimi po, eso aye fa ko a, ye hwehwemu wo.
Daddy, e dia na big bang theory.
Chain, mami bisa chat GPT.
Ubetimi ama ufie adani baby a opese eyibia efise emfa ho ni ne opese oye wo ufie MTN fiber betimi aboa amwoye nya 500 Mbps unlimited internet ani bo no form a free 299 Ghana cedis echo for MTN fiber bra ufie ana wadwuma mu ede for my MTN app no so ana sebo *5057# but check fiber availability no so ana say number e wo gen no. Na receive fiber broadband. Ewo baby a oti no a. Na tobi ene ya.
MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Fafa Melody is back to give us updates again in the news. Fafa.
Now, the Tema Regional Police Command has shot and killed an armed robbery suspect during a gun battle at Zeno Obatan. 3 accomplices escaped with suspected gunshot wounds, while a police officer who sustained minor injuries has been treated and discharged. Regional Commander DCOP Eric Asamoah-Essiedu says police acted on intelligence about the planned robbery and investigations are ongoing.
Acting on the information, a police team conducted surveillance operations in the area on 15th and 16th July 2026. In the early hours of 16th July 2026, the team encountered 4 suspects. The suspects who were armed opened fire on the police. The police responded in self-defense. During the exchange, 1 suspect sustained fatal injuries and was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. 1 police officer also sustained a minor injury and has since been treated and discharged. 3 other suspects escaped with injuries. Items retrieved at the scene have been retained as exhibits, including weapons. The body of the deceased has been deposited at the police hospital mortuary for preservation and autopsy. The command has alerted all health facilities within the district to report any persons who seek treatment for gunshot wounds. Investigations are ongoing to apprehend the remaining suspects.
That was the Tema Regional Police Commander, DCOP Eric Asamoah-Essiedu. Now, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, says government is working to equip metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies with the resources needed to drive local development. Speaking at the Sister Cities International 70th Anniversary Homecoming Conference in Washington, D.C., in the United States, she said government's commitment is reflected in the 4.4 billion Ghana cedis allocated to the District Assembly's Common Fund in the 2025 budget.
The research agenda of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama continues to place decentralization at the heart, at the center of national development. As government works to strengthen local governance, today unprecedented resources are being channeled directly to our district assemblies. The government is not only devolving responsibility, but also providing local governments with significant greater resources. The year 2025 was a turning point because step change in resources was approved. The budget provides the largest allocation ever to the District Assembly's Common Fund, a release of 4.4 billion cedis.
That was the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman.
Thank you very much, Fafa, for that update. Now, if you go to citynewsroom.com, it says Ghana to begin final evacuation of 900 nationals from South Africa on the 25th of July 2026. And the story says the Ghana High Commission in South Africa, Benjamin Kwashi, has announced that the final evacuation of about 900 Ghanaians who opted to leave South Africa following the recent xenophobic attack will begin on July 25, 2026. Let's go to South Africa now and see how preparation is underway as far as this evacuation process, is concerned. And 25th July is tomorrow. And let's speak to the Ghanaian community, how they are preparing for a possible return to their motherland and what the Embassy or the High Commission has put in place so far for their return. Isaac Owusu is a member of the Ghanaian community there, someone we speak to most often when it comes to this issue. Isaac, thank you very much again for joining us. Excited to be coming back home by the announcement of the High Commissioner. What has been the preparation so far?
Thank you very much, Bruce. Greetings to everyone. So far, since High Commission announced the date of 25th July 2026, which is the final repatriation back home, and the date is supposed to be tomorrow. But we didn't hear anything at the moment concerning the High Commission announcement breaking. What I have noticed is we are not going to come the way it was supposed to be like before, maybe 400, 350 at the same plane. So we are not sure, so I cannot confirm for that. We are waiting for High Commission to speak and to tell us which time that we should come to High Commission, or even if there's a names that is going to come out for us to be sure who is in the next trip. That is what we are waiting for. But for the preparation, yeah, we are done with our preparation.
And have you also made an attempt to reach the High Commission for further and better particulars on this journey?
Honestly speaking, no, because there's one platform that I used to have a good conversation with one of the person who is close to the High Commission. She is the one usually update us with the confidence and hope. So in the High Commission, once you call, you will get an assistance, but all they will say is we should wait for the High Commission to come out.
Say until then, you've not heard anything from the High Commission, and the journey is supposed to be tomorrow, 25th of July. So it leaves you somehow uncertain as to whether the trip is coming on or is not.
Of course, Blasphemy, that is how everyone is very worried. Though we believe and we trust our High Commission, how he's doing his things. But since that day, he gave us a date, which is 25, and we haven't heard from him. Either we are going to go, 25 is supposed to be tomorrow. Either we are going to go morning, afternoon, evening. We haven't heard anything up until now. So we are just hoping maybe the names will pop out for the next batch that is going. So we haven't heard anything, and we are very worried for that.
Hopefully we'll hear something tonight. Aside the High Commission and you're coming back home, how is the situation in South Africa? Has the tension come down a bit? The attacks and the rest, has it come down a bit, or is still same?
Yeah, the tension hasn't been down like the way things are going. I can say most of the places, the community tension is down. But the problem that we are facing right now is if you're a tenant, the landlord will be informing you that this ending of this month, you should move away from my house. I'm not going to rent it out again. So most of the people that I know from almost 3 provinces, that is what they told me. And they are very stranded in the street, that they are busy looking for a new accommodation, but it is very difficult to find. So some of them are ending up calling home for the support. Yeah, that is what is happening. But this march and whatever is not going on as we are speaking. But now it looks like they have changed their strategy. Because if you are staying in someone's house and saying at the end of the month, move out, I don't need you. Once you move out, where exactly are you going to get another place? Because they are all make their mind up. That is a big problem we are facing right now as we are speaking.
So this is more or less a national attempt to get all foreigners out, because if landlords are involved now, then it's an attempt to get all foreigners out.
Exactly, Blasphemy. That one is, I can tell you that is what is happening here, because now it's like they are going with the diplomacy instead of the people will come and say we don't want you and whatever. It's going to be something like disgrace, though they don't want that image to be tarnished anymore. Now they are using the other strategy to keep the foreigners out, because as we are speaking, one of my brother who left in Bloemfontein, that is what they told him, to look for a new place. At the end of the month, you are not renting that place out. But where are you going to get accommodation? Because it's like they are all one. That is what I can say. They are all one. See? So it's a very tough moment. I don't want to lie.
And how are you and your family? Your the last time we spoke to your children, your son and how are they?
Yeah, they are here. Together with one of my sister who also part of the evacuation. They are all here. And here is my wife also. So they are all here.
hoping that you will join the 900 to come back home, right?
That is what we are hoping for, and we are still waiting for our High Commission, who we trust, to come out anytime soon. That is what we are hoping for.
Hopefully, by close of day, some information will come in for you and your family and the other Ghanaians who are there. Isaac, thank you very much for your time. Isaac also is a Ghanaian living in South Africa. Someone we speak to most often on issues of this xenophobic attack and the rest. Last time, I think on the 14th of July, the High Commissioner Benjamin Kwashi announced that on the 25th of July this year, which is tomorrow, the last batch of 900 Ghanaians who have voluntarily said that they want to come back to Ghana will be brought back on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And according to Isaac, they are yet to hear any information from the Ghana High Commission in South Africa. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Now Shika is here to give us an update in the world of business. Hello, Na.
Hi, Sammy. How are you doing?
I'm good. What's in business? Yesterday, Finance Minister was all over the place. I'm sure the conversation is still dominating today.
It is actually. Today, I'm sure you know that the Finance Minister joined us.
The breakfast show. Interesting conversation.
It was.
Yeah.
Actually, he assured that despite the recent surge in inflation, Ghanaians should be calm. He's assuring businesses and households that they intend to maintain or sustain.
Okay, give us the details.
Right. Finance Minister Dr. Castle Asuforson says Ghana's inflation rate is expected to remain within the Bank of Ghana's target range by the end of 2026. He said that although inflation had earlier dipped to around 3% before rising slightly, the increase did not mean the economy was getting worse. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show after presenting the 2026 Media Budget Review, Dr. Forson said the economy remained stable.
2025, I agree, was an exceptional year. The reforms we put in place, the strategies we deployed actually yielded the results that we wanted. However, it's also important to understand that things have not deteriorated since. Inflation, we ended 2025 at 5.4. Today, inflation is 5.3. We have not exceeded what we did. Yes, I recognize that inflation indeed came down to the threes and started inching up on account of base drift. However, what I can see is that the outlook of inflation looks quite promising. And our target band of 8 plus or minus 2 will be met by this year. Already, we are doing 5.3. It presupposes that if your numbers, what do you call it? The target is 8 plus or minus 2. The upper band is 10, the lower band is 6, and we're at 5.3. Clearly, we'll be able to achieve that.
Dr. Asuforson further called for stronger action to encourage banks to lend more to businesses, warning that Ghana cannot achieve sustained economic growth if credit to the private sector remains low.
Now, the Treasury bill is not as attractive as it used to be for the banks. And so the banks are now moving away from lending to government, or the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, but rather giving the money to the private sector. That is what we needed to do. I'm happy to report that credit to the private sector started seeing some growth, but that is not what I want to see. We are still too low. Our peers are doing 30% and Ghana is still doing single digit. We need to find a way to get the banks to begin lending trade. But it is obvious that a country should be governed by laws. Every country must be governed by laws. And if you see that something is certainly constraining the forward march of a country, then there's the need for a government to act.
You heard the Finance Minister, Dr. Samuel Attah-Mensah. Now, players in the manufacturing and agro-processing sectors have described the government's decision to abolish the 20% excise duty on locally manufactured fruit juices as a potential boost to domestic production and industrial competitiveness. The Finance Minister, Dr. Attah-Mensah, announced the policy during the 2026 media budget review, saying it forms part of a broader package of tax reforms aimed at supporting agro-processing, promoting job creation and strengthening domestic industry. Speaking to Citi Business News, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chona Makpelu, welcomed the policy, saying it could help improve the operations of the environment for manufacturers.
The 20% excise duty on fruit juice, it's been announced by the Finance Minister today that will totally be taken off. Our view is that we're extremely excited about that development, and we thank government sincerely for listening to our cause. And first at it, we would equally ask government to consider all the other ones that we're talking about. The whole idea of doing this advocacy is to ensure that we do not only celebrate stabilized economy and that the macroeconomy stabilized, but we translate the gains from just stability to transformation, ensuring that we have growth for our companies to grow and create jobs for the many that are unemployed.
That was the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chona Makpelu, speaking there. Moving on, Ghana's petroleum funds closed the first half of 2026 with a combined balance of $1.64 billion, according to the Bank of Ghana's report on the funds for the period ended June 30, 2026. Here's more.
The report shows that Ghana Petroleum Funds received total allocations of $197.13 million during the first half of the year. Of this amount, $137 million was allocated to the Ghana Stabilization Fund, while $59 million went to the Ghana Heritage Fund. The funds also recorded net income of $27 million during the 6-month period. However, the Ghana Stabilization Fund recorded a withdrawal of a little over $132 million. It consequently closed the period with a balance of $182 million. The Ghana Heritage Fund, which recorded no withdrawals during the period, ended the first half with $1.46 billion. The report further indicates that the combined opening balance of the two funds at the start of 2026 was $1.55 billion. The latest figures reflect allocations of proceeds from 5 crude oil liftings during the first half of the year. These comprised liftings from the Jubilee, Sankofa Jinyame, and the 10 fields.
Emmanuel Opong filed that business desk report, and that's it for the Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I'm Nashika Caesar. Sammy, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nashika Caesar. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do Talkback. I remember Talkback is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease affordable document management solution. If you've not sent your WhatsApp messages yet, this is the number 0539 986 996 0539 986 996.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made, or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Looking for engineering excellence you can trust?
Welcome to Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
From expert electrical engineering design, installation, power systems, renewable energy, automation and control,
to reliable data center and managed services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud integration and data security,
and cutting-edge software development, custom business applications, web and mobile apps, cloud and DevOps solutions.
Integrity, safety, accountability, teamwork. That's the Left Signature promise.
And now, introducing the Left Power app.
Request for our services anytime, anywhere. Available on the Play Store, App Store, and on the web.
Ready to power your success? Choose Left Signature Limited.
Visit www.leftsignature.com.
Call +233 256 111 811. Left Signature Limited. Engineering excellence for a connected future.
Enterprise Blue FM.
Enterprise Blue FM, the bus.
It's DJ E on Enterprise Blue FM. Guys, after the heavy rains this week, we are looking for the calmest person in Ghana. Who's the most chill person you know right now? Let's go.
DJ, it has to be Mansa. Look, the flood entered her house and completely submerged her car. Next thing I see on her WhatsApp status, she's smiling and sipping tea on her balcony. Like me, I'll be crying, but she's totally relaxed. DJE, it's true. Mansa's home and car are destroyed, but this girl is not stressing at all. She just tells us everything is under control. Hey, Mansa, how?
Wow, Mansa, we need your secret too.
They say Entoa, but when unexpected floods strike, we've got you covered. At Enterprise Insurance, with over 100 years of experience, we say whether it's home, motor, travel, or insurance for your business, Entoa, if it happens, chill.
Enterprise, your advantage.
HR is evolving. Are you ready? Join industry leaders, HR professionals, and business executives at HR Connect Conference 2026 for powerful conversations on transforming HR into a true driver of business growth and competitive advantage in Africa. The theme: from certification to competence, why elevating HR is critical for business growth and competitive advantage in Africa. The date, 30th and 31st of July 2026 at the Labadi Beach Hotel at 9 a.m. daily. Tickets are going for 2,000 Ghana cedis only. HR Connect Conference 2026. Connect, learn, lead, and transform.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra, and this is Talk Back. Remember, Talk Back is brought to you by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solution. Fred Tete Jabano, head of current affairs at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, joins us with Talk Back on Eyewitness News. Fred, what are our listeners saying?
Let's start from Kwemufi, Emil. Emil says, which ex-gratia is the former appointee talking about? Did they not say the finance minister's presentation was empty? Can he get some money? How can he get money from the empty statement to pay them after they have run the economy aground? This from Emil. Let's go to Richard in Amasaman. Richard says, how can Anado, Dankwa, Ekufado's appointees be that greedy? They are complaining of not hearing anything about their ex-gratia payment. What ex-gratia are they expecting after licking the coffers of the nation dry, leaving gargantuan debt on the nation's neck? The National Cathedral swimming pool can pay for all the 123 ministers' ex gratia. The $12 million Palugu Dam chop, the 11 million Wale Wale Road chop can also pay this ex gratia. Time will fail me to talk about American Sky Train, etc., etc. Once again, tell them the table will remain where it is. It will not turn. It has been super glued. This is
interesting message from Richard.
Let's go to Abutia 30 in the Volta region. This is from Wales Yoga. Wales Yoga says, It would be an unforgettable day bringing the Citi FM annual fair to the Volta region. This could greatly benefit the community. It would boost local businesses, promote tourism, and showcase our rich culture and heritage. The region's beautiful landscape and welcoming spirit provide an ideal setting for the event, fostering connections and enhancing economic growth. We hope you consider this opportunity. Well, Sam would definitely consider this suggestion of yours.
Akapoina for Mem says the only people who can best unveil the massive potential in this part of the country are those from the north. They must promote peace in order to attract investors. Those who have made it in life also must consider setting up businesses to help employ the teeming youth over there. Akapoina for me, talking about the Northern Business Fair, which takes place tomorrow and Sunday in the Northern Regional Capital of Tamale. Another one says, hi, on the mid-year budget, knowing the MPP from their grandfather's period, that's the UP tradition, what do you expect them to say? Full of naysayers, even seeing gains and progress, never will they accept, rather show to Ghanaians the negative, which they are worse offenders anytime they are in government. Let me take this opportunity to salute the finance minister, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, and all other ministers of state. Papa Bisu Spinktest in Accra. Kennedy Onipa Yede says, do these former appointees of President Akufo-Addo administration forget how President Akufo-Addo maltreated President Mahama when he was in opposition? The MPP should keep quiet and endure the opposition quietly. Ghanaians are tired of their noise. This is from Kennedy Nipa Yede. Fred.
Let's go to Joseph from Bongo. Joseph says, I would have put pressure on Kesela to pay them, but it seems that is the 55 billion cedis. Miracle is accused of chopping or embezzling. So they should wait for Atto to collect the money from Miracles first. This is from Joseph from Bongo. We go to Paul from Bechele. Paul says, please tell Kwao that his government should have paid them before leaving office. They should bring Ken Ofori-Atta back if they want to be paid. This is from Paul. From,
conditions or poor conditions.
Kofi Inosu says, ask Kwao if the current ministers have been paid. Atto Forson is also a minister, so the claim that he paid himself should be scrutinized. This is Kofi from Osu. Let's go to Kwesi. Kwesi says, good evening. Please ask the gentleman seeking to be paid at the presidency whether he was properly employed or he was one of those who were wearing black jackets and holding goaters and wearing dark glasses, walking about, going up and down the presidency without proper appointments. If he was such, then he has not been cleared at the Ministry of Finance.
This gentleman wasn't part.
This was the president's legal advisor. At a point acted as secretary to the president. Yeah. So he was not one of those people. Let's go to Jay in Tema. Jay says, please tell Carl that I'm sure the finance minister is just doing due diligence because some people at the former president's office did nothing. I had a family there and her only job was to go pick up. No, I mean, this accusation we cannot put out. But yes, Jay is saying that he thinks that there should be due diligence done before people are paid they claim is due them.
Okay.
So that's from Jonathan.
Another one says, Wuntumi's lawyers knew jail was likely the outcome, yet they kept giving him false hope whilst collecting legal fees. Everyone has to make a living. Delano Agbe in Peduasi says, former appointees should do well and encourage Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to come back home and render proper accounts before they can be paid. Another one came without a name. It says, Mr. Suma is frustrated and depressed. This was what Ken Ofori-Atta and his former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, subjected the bondholders to during their stay. They paid themselves and neglected the bondholders. Tell Mr. Atto to busy paying the bondholders first before them. They should wait until they settle the bondholders. He who feels it knows it. Maybe another before Fred comes in. This is a long one from Honorable Bella Alamzi. It says, the former appointees should stop lamenting. During their time in government, they denied the current president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, his constitutional mandate entitlement as a former president. On the 13th of September 2022, the president publicly raised concerns about the refusal of the Akufo-Addo administration to provide him with those benefits. Therefore, they cannot now complain when similar issues arise. They should avoid portraying every development that does not favor them as political persuasion. Let me take this opportunity to say congratulations to the Member of Parliament for the Chiana Paga constituency. So this one was from
Ishmael Nyaba.
So this from Ishmael Nyaba.
What he was saying is that he's congratulating his hardworking Member of Parliament, who is Billa Alamzi, on a successful graduation from the University of Ghana.
Okay. I mistook him to be the one who was
the Bachelor's of
texting.
Law LLB. So Ishmael, that's your message.
Okay.
Let's go to we the people from Oyarifa. Your guest does have a point, but my question is, what are former appointees of President Akufo-Addo going to do now? Are they going to be picketing at the Ministry of Finance like our dear pensioners did? We the people from Oyarifa. That's the question you're asking. Then there's this one is from Anafeniku. He says, what exactly is called saying the finance minister must pay interest on the ex-gratia owed the Akufo-Addo administration. If he understood how deeply disappointed Ghanaians are with that administration, he would have been more careful about making such pronouncements. Sikano Atonsium. This is from Anafenuku. Francis says, to serve Ghana is not an easy task. People make allegations and go ahead to pass a vote of no confidence. I think this message is in reference to the Ejisu, issue, a DCU who is facing some issues in her district.
Okay, Comrade Issa says after mismanaging the economy, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government and its appointees still have the audacity to demand ex gratia despite the Operation Recover All Loot initiative. Ghanaians are that gullible to give the NPP another chance as they are calling for tables to turn. We will witness what happened on the night of the 6th of January 2025 after the NPP lost the 2024 general election with 38.2% of votes when the tables overturned and microphones were broken in the parliamentary chamber. Hashtag no ex gratia coming in. This is from Comrade Issa from Boko. Another one from Yakubu Mohammed bin Chambers Wale says selective allocation of ex gratia to those that is due to gross misconduct and constitutional breach on the part of the finance minister, managed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It is clear to the face that this particular act is a constitutional breach that the current administration is embarking upon and must be corrected immediately. Do unto those what you desire for yourself. Yakubu Mohammed from Wale.
This has no name. It says, I don't understand why our minority appear to delight in falsehood instead of the truth. They make us lose confidence in them. Then we have Daniel from Sandema. Daniel says the appointees of the erstwhile Akufo-Addo administration have absolutely no shame. After pillaging the public purse and bringing Ghana's economy to its knees through unprecedented mismanagement, they still have the audacity to demand ex gratia. This from Daniel from Sandema. Yakubu Muhammad again comes and he says, how is a good board profitable when it is not in business per the law? It's if the current administration can look Ghanaians in the eye and claim that the value of the money, the value for money offers
the message
and the fiscal
clear.
council. Yes, no,
it's not clear. So let's move on to the next one.
Yakubu to resend the message and make it a bit clearer. Wanda from Ho Central. He says, while robust oversight is a cornerstone of our democracy, a continuous culture of unfounded accusations against state institutions like the Gold Board undermines public confidence and distracts us from our national development. I urge the minority leader and indeed all political actors across the nation to rise above partisan mudslinging. The Ghanaian youth are not looking for blame games from either side, and they are looking for constructive solutions. Both sides of the political spectrum must seize these counterproductive attacks and instead channel their energy into collaborative efforts that create sustainable, realistic jobs and opportunities for the next generation. This is from Wanda in Ho.
Fred, let's do some two, and then we'll check out obviously because we are running out of time. It says, I commend the National Service personnel. The 100 cedis was meant for cloth. If the National Service Secretariat believes providing the cloth is worthwhile, why not deduct 10 cedis from the allowance each month instead? If it stands, personnel receive the cloth 2 months before their service amount is paid. How long are they expected to wear it before they start? It will make more sense if it will make more sense to give it to them the beginning of the month of their service. All right, Fred, thank you. Thank you very much. Fred Jabana, head of current affairs at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, helping us with Talk Back, that sponsored by Valex Lease Equip Limited, Valex Lease, affordable document management solution. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of Eyewitness News. That came to you live from our studios here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafisho, produced by Beverly London, Kwabna Wilson, Julian Odame, and Fetete Jabana, with assistance from Emmanuel Latte. So we'll come your way again on Monday. May the good Lord be with us all. And coming up next is Sports Paro. Mama Gabi and his people are here. They're going to talk about sports. Gabi, what's up? I haven't drunk water.
We'll take that.
I haven't drunk water today. I haven't drunk water today.
No,
okay.
Atufosi.
Minefi.
Obos can do boom, bam, boom. Hey, scan open the man. She can't call a boom, bam, boom. I never knew on him short, bossa.
No,
Bosukin.
Okay.
What are we discussing? I got 58
million. Yeah, the budget said that we spent 58 million cedis on the Black Stars campaign.
That should be, if you convert that to dollars, close to $11-12 million, right? We need further breakdown. Because we were in this country when somebody carries cones, was given $8,000 per match. So we need further breakdown.
Coach, the minister was here this morning and he says that he's going to go after the 10 million cedis which will be given to the GFA by FIFA. So once he
the $10 million.
Yes.
There's a lot that my minister Kofi Adams will have to do. The GFA first and foremost will have to account for every friendly game that we have played. They've not done that. Japan, Korea, Germany, Austria, Mexico. They've not accounted. The last time I heard Kofi Adams speak, you know what he said? He said, I have directed them to bring me a detailed breakdown of how those monies were spent.
No more. Let me give you the platform. It's your time. Gabi, thank you very much. Gabi and his guys will come in with the next segment. That's how we end Eyewitness News. Thank you very much for listening. Good night.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get